Cool. So, welcome everyone to our electronic library committee meeting. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the committee is practicing physical distancing and everyone is participating electronically. So we'll ask the clerk to do a roll call, please.
Thank you, Chair. Regional Chair Redmond, present. Councillor Armstrong.
Present.
Councillor Foxton.
Present.
Councillor Nowak.
Present.
Councillor Shantz.
Present.
Thank you.
Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act? Seeing none. Move on to the agenda. So the first is a report. Library operations update. It's there for information. Staff are available for any questions. Anybody have any questions?
Is this now where I move to adjourn?
So everything is really cool. Good.
It is very good.
So that is there for information. Next item is the.
Oh, just a sec. I was muted there. I have one quick question. Yeah, I was muted. Yeah.
Okay.
One quick question. When it came to vaccination, the uptake on the vaccination, how significant was that? Did that work out well, or?
It did work out well. I think the uptake wasn't enormous, but I think the people who needed it certainly had access to it. So, right. So a lot of people have mobile phones and cell phones, but I think it was larger than I thought it would be. We'll put it that way. So we probably had 20 to 50 people each branch printing stuff out. And once that's then done, but it's still there, it's still available if and when people require the service.
Good to hear. Thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, so next item is the rescind fines for overdue.
Yeah, I have no problems with this, the overdue thing, but do people still return their books? We're not having any problems with books not coming back at all, right?
No, that's what we found. So, sorry, just a second. Julie, Cheryl's waiting in the waiting room, if you could let her in. And then I'll do my best to carry on without Cheryl. Oh, here she comes. But so yes, because of COVID and an inability to either let people into the branches, and then also when we had a challenge with we weren't handling cash for a period of time, so we weren't charging fees. We were finding that people are bringing those books back in exactly the same way as they were before. Cheryl, did you want to kind of expand on that piece? Which is, the question was, are people still returning their books?
Yes, actually, you're correct, Helen. People are still indeed returning their books in a timely manner. So there's no issue with that. I know at one point in time, the historical idea behind charging fines was not as a revenue generator, but more as a deterrent to encourage people to, more as a deterrent for late items, to encourage people to return their items on time. And interestingly enough, because of COVID, we've managed to do a pilot project, if you will, on suspending overdue fines with the idea in mind that are they or are they not a deterrent. And indeed, our practice has shown that over the past year and a half, library items were returned on time.
Excellent.
That's a good, very good. Any other question? Councillor Shantz.
Yeah, thanks. I found it interesting that you linked the elimination of fines to an uptake in library cards. Was that coincidence, or do you really think that one was, affected the other?
Go ahead.
Thank you for that question. We have done research for public libraries throughout Ontario and indeed the North America system that have gone fine-free. And there is a correlation between going fine-free and increasing library membership. Fines are considered to be a bit of a barrier for library membership. When you consider public libraries, really, they appeal to everyone, but especially to people who may not be able to afford their own books or DVDs, etc. And so when you're looking at putting that economic barrier in place of imposing fines, it makes library membership, maybe perhaps not quite as appealing. That was a theory, but that theory has been borne out by other library systems across North America that have gone fine-free and have noticed not only an increase in library membership, but an increase in circulation of items as well. Talking to KPL, the Kitchener Public Library, this was definitely borne out in their experience since they have gone fine-free. They have seen a tremendous increase in membership as well as circulation.
Very good.
Thanks.
It's good to hear. We always want to increase our memberships and circulation and everything. So that's anything we can do to do that, other than having, counselors go out and bang on doors and sell free memberships.
That's not a bad idea.
Well, there you go. You have my permission. Okay.
That's part of your campaign strategy.
I was thinking that, campaign, just vote for me and you have a free library card. No, I'm kidding.
I hear you. Okay, so we do have a recommendation from this. The recommendation that the library committee recommend that the region of Waterloo repeal of point 3, fines for overdue library books of policy PD library 8/74 library fines and rental fees to take effect January 1st, 2022, as described in report PDL Lib 20-05 dated December 8th, 2021. Cost recovery for loss or badly damaged item is not affected.
I'll move it.
So that's moved by Councillor Fox, second by Councillor Shantz. All in favor, you can use your icons to vote. We have that power, my goodness. Cool.
That's
That
good.
is carried, thank you. Okay, next item is the library budget. So, comments or questions on the budget?
I like it.
Especially the parts where it says it's less than last year. So that's a cool thing.
Well, because everything else is going to be more than last year.
Yeah, I know.
So if we can give an inch, we will take a mile, but if we can give an inch.
Yeah. So, Helen, you want to comment?
I think it's worth just mentioning, I think, how carefully library staff have thought about what services they deliver and how they deliver them in the most efficient way possible, putting the hours where they're needed, putting staff when they're needed, to try to make this the most efficient system that we possibly can make it. And this is our third year in a row where we're really thinking very, very carefully about how those services are delivered and what those services are. Also now looking more to how we partner within the community to try to make the most of the expertise and the talent and the skill and the enthusiasm within our community to lend itself to the system as well. It's probably worth noting that we've put a bit of a stretch goal in there when it comes to donations and sponsorships and grant funding. But I think it's worth doing. We've had a very stable period for a long period of time. And as we went through the review process, the service review process, it was noticed that the makeup of our revenue sources didn't look like other libraries. So we're putting that stretch goal in for ourselves for this year.
You're muted.
Go ahead, Sue. You didn't read my lips? Okay.
So Helen, you know the Air News is going to ask you for the Taylor estate funding. So just a heads up on that.
Thanks for the heads up.
No other questions? So we have the recommendation before us. And I won't bother reading, you guys have all read it. A little lengthy to do that. So
I'll move it.
moved by Joe, seconded by,
Let Karen second it, because Sandy and I already did the other one, right, Sandy?
okay. Chair Redmond has seconded it. Just to show that she attended. Okay, all in favor? Oh, do you have a comment, Councillor Shantz?
I was just quickly going back over the capital budget, and I don't remember if I read it or not, but why is the capital reserve so much higher in the 2023 forecast? I'm sure that must be in the report, but I can't see it at the moment.
Who wants to handle that? Carol?
You mean like the amount that we're spending in 2023?
It's yeah, it's under funding and finance. So it's property taxes and user rates. And its library capital reserve is 137, and it's like 3 times higher or more than other years. And I can't remember why that would be if I ever knew.
Okay, in 2023, we have are thinking that we're going to spend 120,000 on the Breslau branch. That's the forecast anyway at this point. So I mean that timing could change.
Okay.
So that's not in other years.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. No further questions? All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Is there any other business that anybody wants to bring up? Councillor Foxton?
Sandy's got me thinking.
Uh-oh.
And even though, I know it's a frightening thought, eh? Even though we've passed it, if it's a big hit in 2023 and we're doing a negative now, would it be more prudent to do less of a negative? Like it was a 6% negative, was it? Or what was it? Remind me again. This year?
6 point.
So what if we made it 3 and put the other 3 towards capital? So we're not hitting all in one year.
The capital comes from the reserve. So right now, the library capital reserve, the projection for the end of 2021, because we're also thinking we're going to have a surplus this year. If we include that, we should have 1,160,000.
Oh, okay. That sounds wonderful. Party time? No, okay.
So that 120 will come out of that. It's not
Okay.
added to this.
Okay, thank you.
No, we're not going to have special beverages.
You're talking to a non-drinker. Peppermint tea.
There you go. That's special. Okay, is there any other business? Okay, it's good. Well, I want to compliment staff and in the hard work that's gone on over the last 18 months, almost 2 years, that has kept our libraries functioning and even improving. So I appreciate all the hard work and keep it up, guys. We've got a lot of stuff coming ahead at all levels. So keep up the good work, and you can give yourselves a pat in the back if you can reach there. I don't know that I can, But anyway, you do that. That's it. Okay. Next meeting will be determined as we need it, and we will now have a vote to adjourn.
I move it.
Moved by Councillor Foxton, seconded by Councillor Nowak, and we are all in favor, please. Cool.
See everybody
Thank
soon.
you very much.
Have a
Karen,
great-
if you could give me a call, I think I emailed you to give me a call. If you could give me a quick call, just